Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, welcome back to the show. So on this episode of Small Project Alert, we're going to be making a beautiful red rose that's going to sit atop of this golden goddess dress that I'm creating, and it's going to be amazing. Let me show you the inspiration. So this is the drawing, and you see how there's a 3D, almost 7-inch flower, well, 7 inches in either direction, flower sitting atop of her shoulder. So I'm gonna create that with this red velvet here. And if you saw the thumbnail, you see you're gonna need some wire cutters, some glue, some wire, the velvet of course, and a very sharp pair of scissors. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're gonna do is take this beautiful red velvet and flip it over to the rough side, and we're gonna grab a Sharpie and draw out our rose petals. So let's do that. I cut out my piece, kind of looks like a heart with the bottom chopped off, and then I bent my wire to a similar kind of shape. I'm gonna pin the wire down, put some glue on it, and then we're gonna take this second layer, put it right on top, and let it dry. I pinned my piece of wire just inside of the circle, or the half a heart shape. Now I'm gonna throw a bead of glue on top of the wire and close it off with this piece. Got it all pinned in, and we're gonna let that dry. Now, I'm sure there's an easier way to do this process, but you know, a part of this small project alert is trial and error, and I've never actually made it this way with the wire, so you're going along on the journey with me. Normally, I would just create a stencil like this, cut out the fabric, and put silicone on the back, throw a pearl under it to give it its 3D lift, and that will be that. But I want to try to do something new for this channel, and we're gonna try new techniques, and it's always gonna be a trial and error over here. And right now, it's looking pretty good. So we're gonna make, well, I'm gonna make about 4 more. Alright, I just wanted to show you what the inside looks like before I put the second layer on. So I just threw a bead of glue over the wire, and now I'm gonna put the extra piece right on top and press the edges. Alright, so I got my 4 pieces over here drying for the outside petals. Now I'm gonna do the inside petals, kind of looking like a wonky M.
As time goes by. It's been a long time.
So the petals are dry for the small project alert. I have my light cyan size 30s, 20s, and 16s. The first thing I'm going to do is go in and do a quick frame all the way around the front. And I think I'm gonna frame the back as well, just because I don't know how it's gonna sit. Maybe I'll just do one side. I don't want to overuse the stones. So I'll just frame the front end to end, and we'll see what that's looking like before I start going in with all of my specialties. I did tray out all of my stones, and I have quite a few different specialties, some pearls, some velvets, and some checkerboards in light cyan. Alright, so I got all of my petals nice and framed. Now I'm gonna go in with the specialty stones and deck this flower out so it can be nice and beautiful while it sits atop her shoulder like this. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it's still cold here in Arizona. It's a cold Arizona morning. I just got in and I'm looking at this gorgeous flower that I made yesterday. I got all of the pieces nice and stoned for the small project alert. Small project alert. Small project alert. I'm gonna make a theme song. Right now, I only got those 2 lines, but I'm gonna make a theme song. So what I did on these were completely frame it like you saw, and then I went in and every other stone I added one of these long light cyan pairs, and then I went in between those with the size 12 in Orem and put a golden shadow pair at the bottom. That is what I did as far as the frame. So inside the petal I added these huge navettes and 2 Orem pairs, and then I framed the pairs with some light cyan moon shapes, and that is the end of the petals. That is what I did for the petals. So as far as the leaves, I just threw a line from 20s to 16s to the tip, framed them of course, and then added some of those golden shadows around the edges and some of those light cyan long pairs to make the spine of the leaf. And then I think I'm gonna make 2 more of these open petals, and I pretty much just framed it, threw a little design on the side, another one on this side, and then stoned the inside. Oh my god, listening back to that clip, my nose still sounds very stuffy, and it really is, but I'm getting better by the day. So I think I'm gonna make 2 more of these open panel petals, but for now we're gonna play with the placement here on the top of the shoulder and see if in actuality I really need 2 more pieces, because I might not need it. But this is how the dress is coming out. But this is small project alert, so we're not gonna get into the dress. We're gonna get into this corner right here where the flower is going to go. So this is what it's looking like. Very pretty, very cute. And that is just the petals. Now let's add the open panel petals. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love the open panel petals, but I think 2 is just the perfect amount. You know, sometimes I be knowing what I be doing and don't even be knowing what I be doing. But I think the open panel petals just gives it another layer, another dimension of texture, and it's gorgeous. So pretty. Okay. Now let's add the petals. well, the leaves. Gorgeous, even more gorgeous. So this is what it looks like. I haven't done any bending of the wires yet to give it more shape, but just pinning it down, this is what it's looking like. I'll probably make something to cover this insert in the center, kind of like this. So I made this maybe a year ago as a pop out 3D flower, and it's nothing but fabric and glue. But see how the inner has that swirl in the inside? I want to do something with some red velvet for that in the inside as well. Maybe some little pines sticking out. I don't know, but we're gonna figure that part out. So let me do some bending of this wire and see if I can give it a little more shape. I think that is amazing. You know, this is a new technique, and sometimes I think I outdo myself. All right, so it's gorgeous. I have some scrap red velvet left over from making these petals. So I'll make that kind of inner rose swirl for the inside to complete it. Maybe stone it with a regular cyan, which is the darker of the reds. Like you can see the inside of the petals, that's a regular cyan in that large navette. And just so it can look like it's bursting in color in the inside. So let's make that and start. So here is just my scrap piece of red velvet. You can see where I cut out all of the petals and stuff. I'm just gonna fold it over and then cut it even into a square. Well, not a square, but cut it to where both sides are clearly defined with velvet. As close to even on both sides as possible. I know you can't see me, but I will show you as soon as I am done. Alright, so that's just all that I did. And we're just gonna roll it. First bend down and then roll it until it gives you that kind of shape, kind of pinch down, bring it back up, roll it again, and it's gonna kind of give you a shape of the inside of a rose. kind of like that. So that is what we are looking for. That is the shape. Kind of like a rose. Not really, but kind of like a rose. And that is gonna go in the middle. But we're gonna chop off the end because we don't want it to protrude that high. And you'll get a shape like this. It's gonna look something like this because all of the glue is keeping everything separated. You get the topper. This is what the top looks like. And if you want, what I did for this white one here was added a piece of interfacing in the bottom and then actually sewed it onto the interfacing. That's why you see all of the stitches. We're not going to do all of that. That was a trial and error, which really wasn't an error, but just a trial. I'm just going to take maybe the fattest piece of my extra fabric, cut a circle and glue it to the bottom just so it has some kind of stability to stand on. This is the shape that I got from my extra fabric. This is the bottom. I just glued it down and I'm gonna try to get to the edge. I mean, either way, I'm gonna cut it off, the excess shape. I just made a big enough shape because I wasn't sure of the sizing. So all of that excess I'm gonna cut off. But as you see now, it can stand up. It has some stability. You can go ahead and put some glue down in here and kind of give it more shape. Open these kind of makeshift petals up if you want. It's up to you, but I'm definitely gonna stone this. Maybe gold in the center and then the dark cyan, regular cyan around the outside for dimension. So while that is drying, let's go get some regular cyan stones from the back. Look at this. So our new alterations girl has been over here tearing up all of our dresses that aren't selling too well and turning them into something else. So this was once a smooth gown and now it's going to be a Latin. So cute. But the stoning on that was amazing. Alright, let's grab some regular cyan. See how dark the regular cyan is in comparison to the light cyan? Where is that? The light cyan, you can see the true red, and the regular cyan looks a little burgundy-ish, but I'm gonna grab some Preciosa 16s and some Preciosa size 20s, maybe some 30s for just the base at the bottom, and that is all we need. Now let's somebody is here, so let's unlock the door because I value my safety. When I'm here alone. Now let me put these in the tray and then we can get to stoning and cutting the excess off of this. Okay, so I got everything trayed up. Let me show you the difference in color. So this is cyan. It's a really rich, really lush, really full color, deep red. And this is light cyan, which is really a true brightness of the red. Like, let's put this here. See how it kind of matches a little better. Oh, I did cut the bottom off. It's not all the way dry, but it's dry enough. And then the depth of the reds would be into the regular cyan color. So what I'm gonna do is just frame the bottom of the regular cyan in the regular cyan, and then fade up into the light cyan, and then maybe do some orum in this.
Some of the old songs. For old time's sake. As time goes by. Been a long time. Some of the old songs. For old time's sake. As time goes by.
Alright, so this is what it looks like done.
Been a long
Thick at the bottom, and then I just sprinkled lightly at the top, and then around. It's gold in the middle, swirl. Now let me show you what it would look like on the dress. So we're just gonna put that, something like that, in the middle, just to camouflage the middle. And I think it looks gorgeous. And that is the end of the small project. Thank you so much for watching. I am just gonna sew it on. I don't think you need to see that, but the sew on technique would just be everywhere you see like a pin, that's where you want to sew it on. So I'm only sewing each piece on in 2 separate places, which I use 2 pins per petal. So that is how it's gonna get sewed on. And this is the perfect placement for that. Again, thank you so much for watching this small project alert. Oh, the flower is done. Everything is nice and sewn down. The pins are out, as you can see, and it is just as beautiful as it wants to be. So I think what I'm going to do is stone the backs of just these 2 petals, but I'll do that later. What I'm gonna do now is frame all of my beautiful red velvet strips in light cyan before I start my ombres. But for now, all you get is a rose.